This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Tuesday, February 1st. We got a great show for you guys, but first and foremost, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, App, iHeart, Google, whatever you're listening to, hit that follow. You know, we appreciate you guys. And if you could leave us a review, we'd appreciate you a little bit more. But obviously, Mike Trizano on the show. Great interview. Great catching up with him. When we wrap up with him, we talk a little bit about that Jake Paul diss track against Dana White and other big names in the UFC. We go over the good bar, the bad bar, the other bars that are also really, really bad in that track. We go over everything that's directed towards the bald boy, Dana White. But when we wrap up with that, we talk about anything, everything in the MMA world, from Eagle FC, Bellator. We talk about Boobgate. Just know Boobgate's very important. It's not about a female, I'll tell you that much. But Boobgate is something we all need to talk about, get it trending. But anyway, after that, we give our winners and losers from this past weekend and wrap up with a little NFL talk. So without further ado, here's Mike Trizano. We're joined by fan favorite, former Ultimate Fighter winner, Mike Trizano. Mike, how we doing, man?
Doing great, man. How's everything with you?
I'm doing pretty good. I was going to say, can we get a mullet check? But it seems like the mullet's finally gone.
No, it's been gone since like the summer.
Did you get rid of it for the wedding?
I did. I cut it for the wedding.
I thought what you should say is you got it cut because it became too mainstream. Like even I got that little thing going on. It's nothing cheap. Not like yours, but yours was majestic. But yeah.
Honestly, I was growing it because I wanted to. Never thought I'd ever have a mullet to begin with, and then everyone started getting it, and I'm the kind of person where like I don't do things that everybody's doing, so chopped it. Plus, it was a pain in the ass to maintain.
Dude, the amount of conditioner you gotta use in there, it's like ridiculous.
And my hair is so curly that like it's always all over the place. So if I don't do something to it, it's just like a mane.
That's why they made hats and beanies though, to kind of help keep it together. But yeah, that shit.
Sure. Yeah.
It also doesn't help too that like when you have longer hair and you don't braid it, when you get hit in the UFC, like there's more sweat and everything going over, so it looks worse to the judges. And you're like, that wasn't that hard to hit. It's just a sweat going everywhere.
Well, at least it was good that it was never getting in my eyes. That was the main thing.
That was the best thing about the mullet because it's not long in the front, it's just long in the back. Yeah.
Damn right.
You should have got like one fight in with the braided. That would have been kind of fun.
You can't braid a mullet, man. You just gotta let it flow.
Gotta let it flow.
Gotta let it flow. You can't tame that thing.
No, that is true. You gotta let that thing. Gotta let it be free.
Absolutely.
Just like the spirit of the mullet. It's just to be free.
It's just a symbol of freedom. You just gotta let it go.
Exactly. So you're free from injuries. You're back. You're back to being active. Got a big fight coming up here in a couple weeks with Hakeem Dawodu. Actually, probably has to help a little bit that your boy Julio, our boy Julio, fought him a couple years back. So like, what are you looking forward to going into this fight?
I'm looking forward to someone, at least from what I would think, is that they're not going to try and take me down, and we're going to stand and exchange some leather. I like to stand and fight. I have a ground game. I might mix it up and try and take him down and test his ground game a little bit, keep him guessing. But I'm just excited to go toe-to-toe and just start throwing.
Oh, hell yeah. That's why, you're a fan favorite. That's why we love watching you fight. That's why it was disappointing not to see you fight. But obviously, after that last fight with Evloev, I mean, it's kind of it would be irresponsible to not at least test the ground game a little bit. Am I right?
Of course, yeah. I want to keep him guessing too. You know, I don't want to just keep it a stand and fight the whole time. It's MMA. You gotta do everything.
I mean, for sure. And then the one unfortunate thing though about this upcoming fight is that it's not going to be in front of fans again. Are you a little bit disappointed in that though?
Yeah, a little bit, but it is what it is. You know, you don't really have control of that for the most part. It's just whatever they give me, they give me.
Because it's going to be based on normal activity for a fighter, unless you pick up a short notice fight. You're not going to fight. It's going to be 3 years potentially between fights with fans. Isn't that? It's kind of wild when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, but like it doesn't bother me too much because I did it on the show. And no fans doesn't faze me. zone out anyway, and the crowd just gets drowned out, and it's just me and my opponent. So
Just helps out a little bit. You don't hear the roar. Don't kind of get, kind of that, what's the word? You don't, pressure yourself to go for a finish too quick. It allows you to be a
right.
little more patient, all right? Yeah. So, let's say, so another thing too is it's like, obviously you took the 2 years off. And I do want to talk about it is it sucked. It probably sucked. You couldn't fight. I mean, you were starting your rise in the UFC, then you go out for a couple of years. But like, what was the biggest thing you took away from those 2 years away from the game?
It was a good opportunity to improve on my overall game. For the longest time, I was always active. I was always fighting 3, 4, 5 times a year. And when you're training for a fight, you're always getting better when you're training, but for fight specific, you work a game plan and you focus on just your game plan. And you don't really have a chance to go outside of the box a little bit and try stuff and play with new techniques and things like that because you're focused on one thing. So the couple years off gave me an opportunity to really just try stuff, improve, get stronger, faster, and it was an eye opener because again I was always so active and it was good to have a little break, more so on the mental side because going from fight camp to fight camp to fight camp, it takes a toll mentally. It's a lot of work. People only see the fight; they don't see the build up to it. So, it's tough. But that's the biggest thing is that I was able to improve and work stuff and just get better.
Did you ever like kill yourself and go through a mock cut just to go through it one more time, or did you kind of take a break from that for the full 2 years?
No way, never. The only time I ever did like a mock cut was when I was gonna go pro. I had fought 155 and like tons of different catch weights when I was an amateur because a lot of times the fights were like day of weigh-ins, so I wasn't gonna cut weight, and so that was really the only time I ever did a mock cut. It was like right before my first pro fight. I actually had a fight get canceled before my debut as a pro, so I was already super low, and I was like, oh, okay, I can make it. And then my first pro fight was a catch weight at 150, so it was a good way to test, see how my body feels getting that low. And then after that, it was 145.
And you tore.
Obviously, I did 55 for the show, but
yeah. No, so like you tore your meniscus. Was it before the Dawson fight or like during the Dawson fight?
So it wasn't even a tear. My meniscus was just completely detached from where it was supposed to be, which is why it took so long to heal. So like a tear, they would have shaved it down and I would have been good in like 6 weeks. But since it was detached and it was a repair, because there's like not a lot of blood flow going to the knee, it took 6 months, not 6 weeks. And it was 6 months of nothing. Like I couldn't do anything with it because like the littlest thing could run the risk of it detaching again. So I was doing no training whatsoever, like very little like weightlifting and stuff just to keep my mind sane because I got to work out, it drives me nuts. But other than that, I wasn't really doing much for like 6 months. So it was making me lose my mind a little bit.
I can only imagine. Like like recently I had COVID. It's like I couldn't like go to the gym and stuff, and it was driving me fucking crazy because like you can only do so much at your house, and it's just I was losing my mind. So I can only imagine doing 6 months because I can't imagine it. It's got to be brutal, especially like when you're like everything else is good to go except for that one knee. But I do want to ask about. I know there's a big not ego thing, but like when people are like, I'm not going to pull out because I agreed to this. I'm going to be there that day. But since that fight, do you kind of have a new thought process of like, if I get hurt, my bank account's what matters. I'm going to pull out or try to get this thing
delayed. You know what? The injury, like without pulling out aside, like I'm smarter when it comes to my body and listening to how I feel. I'm not, I'm not a 20-year-old anymore, so my body definitely heals a little bit slower than it did 10 years ago. So that's probably one of the biggest things I've learned in the last few years is how to listen to my body. If I'm hurting or I'm sore, or like really just drained, I take a rest day. Like I make sure like I focus a lot on my recovery, and I focus on my recovery every day. Like I'll do something, like whether it's an ice bath or cryo or acupuncture. I go to PT a couple times a week so I can just for maintenance, not even because I'm injured. It's just so if I get a bump and bruise in training, I'll be like, oh, this is bothering me. Can you work on it? And it just keeps me feeling so much better, so much looser. And I've learned to treat recovery as seriously as I treat my training.
Are you a cupping guy or are you an acupuncture guy? Like, which one do you prefer?
Yeah, I do both. I do everything, man. I just got cupping done today, so
Really?
yeah, I think everything is good. Everything in moderation, and if you're consistent with it, I think you could see results with anything.
Okay. I've never done the cupping. I've done acupuncture before. I thought that was pretty cool, but I've always thought cupping looked just
Yeah.
like I don't know if I could like look down at like my stomach and seeing like the skin being
I've
pulled up.
actually never done cupping on my stomach. It's always been like
Back.
back, shoulders,
Or still the shoulders, you can still kind of
neck.
see it like kind of popping out a little bit. I feel like that's still got to be
Yeah.
so weird to see in person.
Eh.
Eh.
I personally think it works, so I do it at least a couple times a week.
Oh, you do it a couple times a week. I thought that was like a once a
Yeah.
week kind of thing.
No, I do it a couple times.
That's kind
Yeah.
of wild. Okay. So one thing I want to ask is Tiger Schulman. Obviously, you got you, Burgos, Julio. You got Jimmy Rivera. But obviously, Shane's getting a little bit older. You're getting into your prime. Do you think you're going to take that mantle of like one of the most entertaining and violent guys in the featherweight division?
I hope so. I hope so. I just got to get in there.
Yeah, it's
Everything
really.
it's just been eluding me. I mean, I was supposed to fight in October. That was the whole plan, and then I was supposed to fight Chaz Skelly, and
Mhm.
he ended up getting hurt like a week and a half, 2 weeks before the fight, and it just fell through.
So, what
So,
is the game plan
and
for 2022? Is it just to be as active as you possibly can?
yeah, I mean, I definitely want to fight. Obviously, I got this one in February. Then I want to fight a few months later. Try and get one in before the summer, and then fight a couple times in fall and towards the end of the year. So 3, 4 fights if I'm able to. We'll see. That's always my goal. I don't want to. Clock's ticking. I'm not getting younger. I want to get in as much experience as possible, and I'm always just trying to test my skills and see how far I can take it, man. Obviously, a belt's the goal. I'm gonna work my ass off to try and get there. See what happens.
See what happens. That's all you can do. Just
Live it.
go out there
Just
and
living
do it.
life.
Yeah, just live the
Yeah.
life, live the fighting life. I do want to ask a
Yeah,
question
man.
about the Ultimate Fighter, and I remember listening to you talk about it, and people in the past talk about it. They ask you a bunch of like questions, like in the third stage or whatever. What was like the weirdest question they asked you, like during the whole experience?
What do you mean, like
Like, did they ask
weird
like so?
question?
Like, what did they ask you? Like, what were the questions they asked you? Like in
Oh,
that
for
last
the
bit? For the
tryouts,
tryout,
like we go.
yeah. When you're in the tryout.
They were like basic questions. It wasn't anything weird. It was just they were really just throwing like, all right, where are you from, like this and that. They were just trying to see how you were with a camera on you. They wanted to see your
Okay.
personality, so they were just spitting out just basic questions. Oh, why do you fight? Why do you do this? What do you think of this guy? They were just throwing stuff out there. It wasn't anything like out of the ordinary. It honestly was like a 2-minute conversation. They asked me a few questions, and then they're like, "All right, see you later." And then I went back into the area where everybody was, and just waited for them to call my name.
Did they announce the winner? Did they announce the people they were choosing like at that location? Like kind of like I know how the first stage they announced, second stage they announced. So after the third stage, they didn't send you
Yeah,
all home. Then announced they just announced it there.
yeah. So like,
That's wild.
obviously, first stage was you grappled for a minute and a half. So
Yeah.
it's like you have a minute and a half to do something. It's barely anything. They have everybody do that. They call the names of everybody they want to stay. Everybody else, done. You leave. Then you hit pads for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. They call everybody they want to stay. Everybody else goes, and then they do the interview, and then you wait, and then they call everybody that they want to stay, and everybody else leaves, and that's it. And then after that stage, whoever they called, you stay the rest of the week. And they ended up, we did like medicals, and they did some filming and stuff like that, but like it was mainly just like getting medicals done and that kind of stuff. And we just did I did some training at a bunch of different gyms in Vegas, and that was pretty much it. But and then after we did all the medicals at the end of the week, they were like, all right, we'll call you in let you know if you made it or not. That was it. So as soon as I got home, I pretty much just said to myself, all right, I'm in fight camp. I made the show. Start training for a fight. That's it. So, and then I was going to have a fight lined up just in case I didn't end up getting on the show. So that way, at least I wasn't just training for no reason. I was going to fight regardless. It was going to be either in the regional circuit or on the show. And then they ended up calling me like beginning of January, and they're like, all right, you made it. You leave on this day.
Well, it probably helps a little bit if you have a fight schedule, so at least you know you're fighting for something, you're preparing for something,
Yeah.
and then too, if you don't make Ultimate Fighter, you probably would have took out a lot of anger on that guy. So, well, lucky for that guy, you didn't fight him.
Listen, I went in there with no expectations. I had nothing to lose. I was still young in my career. I was 6-0 at the time, I think, and I was like, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. Then I just keep training and keep fighting, and I'll get in another way. So I went in there with no expectations, and it worked out.
It worked out. And so I know one thing they did is like you kind of got like quarantined, like when you guys were on the Ultimate Fighter. Did that prepare you for COVID during the whole quarantine thing?
I mean, I guess a different type though. Like they took our phones, they took our wallets, everything. So like we didn't have any contact with anybody from the outside world at all. So I mean, it's one thing quarantine with COVID, like you can still like talk to people and stuff like that, but like it was just a bunch of guys in a house, and that was it. Like we had to just figure out things to do. I mean, we were training double sessions every day, so it wasn't like we were sitting around for a while. We had very little downtime, but yeah, I mean, it was definitely a weird experience for sure. I personally wouldn't do it again.
Would you do so like with today with like Contender Series and all that? Would you do it again, or would you just try to make sure you get on the Contender Series?
So if I was a young and upcoming guy, I think the Ultimate Fighter is a great opportunity. Whatever comes first, honestly. If you can do Contender Series, great. That's easier. One fight, and you're not locked away for 6 weeks. And then you got the Ultimate Fighter where you're locked away for 6 weeks. It's a long process just to maybe get to the finale, and you fight a few times in the house, and it's a lot. So Contender Series is definitely the easier route. Obviously, it's not easy. You got to fight somebody.
It's a little quicker.
They're going to be, yeah, it's quicker, less mentally tough on the person versus the show.
Yeah. So one thing when I saw you're staying in featherweight, right? That's kind of the game plan going forward.
Yeah.
To stay in featherweight. Did you and Julio both decide to go down a weight class together? Because I noticed he also went down to bantamweight. You went down to featherweight. You guys both kind of went down.
So I always was going to be at featherweight. The only reason I did 155 on the show is so I didn't have to cut weight during the show.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to have to be just killing myself to make weight every single time on a short span. Like I fought twice in 8 days, so I would have had to cut weight multiple times in a short period. It's a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to.
So I wanted to go on the show and like enjoy the process. I had to cut weight a little bit, but it was nothing. Like I was walking around within 5 pounds of 55. So like,
just go hit the sauna. Fine. Yeah, just go hit the sauna.
Yeah, exactly. We had a jacuzzi, so I just literally sat in the jacuzzi, sweat out a little bit, and then I waited.
That easy.
Easy, yeah. Easy. So I just did that, but yeah, I mean, my plan was always to go to 45. I think for a while Julio, he had a hard time making 35, so he went to 45 for a little bit, and then now he's back to 35. But he's got a good nutrition program under his belt, and he's doing it way easier now than he did earlier in his career. So
I've noticed a lot of guys.
He's got more of the frame for a 35 or 2. Like I'm a lot bigger than him. Shane's a lot bigger than him. Yeah. Not saying he didn't do well at 45, but he's more of like the 135 frame.
He's more suitable to make a run at 35 with the frame he's got. But
he can make a run wherever he goes.
Well,
Dude's
that's true.
A beast.
Dude, he's an animal. Yeah. Unfortunate last fight. He'll bounce back. I'm not too worried about it. But
shit happens.
I know you went to college for a semester. Did you go to like a public? Where'd you go?
So I went to community college.
Community college
for about a year almost.
So
I
it's a lot
think. And
easier
then
that's a lot easier to get out of that than it is to go to like
yeah,
a
well, I didn't know
university.
what I wanted to do, and honestly, I kind of was just going because my parents wanted me to go, and I was like, all right, whatever, I'll make them happy. I didn't want to go to college, honestly. And then I was at the time I was training too, so I was super into, competing and stuff, and the fighting aspect was what I was focused on, and I was just doing the college part to keep them happy a little bit, and then eventually they were just like, look, we see how serious you are with the fighting. Stop going to school. And I was like, don't got to tell me twice. So, but I ended up, I went to community college for like, I'll say a year. I don't remember how long it was. And then I transferred to William Patterson University, was there for a semester, and then I stopped.
Not a big deal. I mean, you can. I mean, didn't your parents then say like, "We'll just treat your fighting kind of like your college, and we'll help you get through it"? Is that kind of what ended
Yeah.
up happening? Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
4 years of fighting and see where it goes."
You could say that, but they saw how committed I was, and I was doing well. I was undefeated as an amateur kickboxer, undefeated MMA, and they're just like, all right, focus on this. This is what you want to do. Do. College will always be there. So if I wanted to go back to school at any point in time, I can.
Yeah. Fighting's not always going to be there. You're not always going to be young, spry, and able to go punch someone in the face. So
exactly.
Let's move on from
legally.
Fighting. Yeah, legally. Legally. Let's go. Let's talk about some more fun stuff. Did you really go to Africa and go on like a hunting trip?
I did. It was awesome.
What's more satisfying, killing something there, or killing something here in America, like in the forests?
The whole hunting experience in general, regardless of where you are, is, for me, I love it. That's like my thing besides fighting. Like, fighting is one thing I'm passionate about. Hunting's the other thing. Fighting does take up a lot of time, so I don't have enough. I usually don't have as much time as I would like to go hunting, but when I get a fight, I usually like to try and plan something outside of, like, afterwards, so I have something to do. I like being in the outdoors. I like going, and it's just a surreal experience, man. The whole adrenaline rush, and the animal comes up, and you're like, your heart's like, I get more nervous when I'm like about to shoot something than I am when I'm getting in the cage, like about to get my face punched in. So
where are you gonna go then after this fight? Do you have it planned out yet?
I don't have anything planned out yet. I probably won't do anything until maybe like summer. I was thinking about going down south and doing some pig hunting. I want to do like, I want to shoot some pigs out of a helicopter. That's something I want to do.
Pigs out of a helicopter?
Yeah. So like the wild pigs are like a huge nuisance down south, and like in Texas and like Alabama, Oklahoma, like that kind of area. They're all down there, and they just destroy everything. So you could just shoot as many as you want, and like you could go night hunting with night vision with them, like, and you just use machine guns and just mow them down.
Oh, so you're not even getting meat out of there. You're just kind of killing them.
Oh no, absolutely, I'm gonna eat them.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like you have to. Like, that's got to be.
I'm gonna get tons of meat. Oh, it's gonna be incredible. Pulled pork sandwiches for like a year.
Dude, bacon for a fucking year. Like, it's everything. Yeah. Anything you could want.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'm taking all the meat I can.
What's the biggest?
I eat everything I shoot.
What's the biggest haul you've gotten? Like, in terms of like meat.
Meat.
Edible, obviously. Yeah.
Just the biggest one I've shot so far was probably a bear. I shot a black bear.
You killed a bear?
Maine. Yeah, I've been black bear hunting a few times up in Maine, and I only got one out of like the 3 times I went, and that was good, man. Bear meat is real good.
Really?
And like it was like right before Hurricane Sandy. So when Hurricane Sandy hit, I had 4 hindquarters in the freezer. So we took the hindquarters and we threw them on a smoker and we slow cooked them for like 8 hours. Oh. And we made pulled bear sandwiches out of them because we had to get rid of the meat because we were out of electricity for like 10 days. So we had to make sure that nothing went bad, and we ate it all. It was great.
Dude, that sounds awesome. What's the most surprising animal that tastes good? Because I knew a kid growing up who loved squirrel, and I was like, why?
I wouldn't eat the squirrel in Jersey, that's for sure. They're eating like garbage and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't want
that. But I think some of the animals that we ate in Africa, just weird types of antelope. All very good, very
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I know you're also a big video game guy. Right now, there's like
hell yeah.
you have some bigger. It's like if you had to pick one, which one would you pick? Apex, Halo, or Call of Duty? Right now,
Halo.
Halo. Good choice.
I grew up on Halo, man.
So
Halo's
did
the
I.
best.
Yeah. Did you ever do
Yeah,
the
I
system link
actually.
thing, like where you'd have like?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
used
that
to.
was so much fun.
Growing up, we'd have like 2 TVs. People would bring their Xboxes over. We'd have like 4 people in one room, 4 people in the other room. Be playing. Oh, so much fun.
Dude, that's what we did too. Like
So,
that's something that like no one growing up's gonna know about nowadays. But like you'd
I
have all
know.
your friends come over. You'd have like we had this like big room. We put like curtains up so no one could see in
Yeah.
between everyone's TV. Obviously, you always go
Hell yeah.
screen lookers, all that kind of shit. Dude, that's a
I
time
know.
no one's gonna remember. Screen looker is a thing you don't call anyone anymore. No one even knows what that is.
No, because everybody's got live now, and
Yeah,
that was before Xbox Live was around, and you could play someone at their own house.
that was the
But it
hacker
made it better
before hacker.
because exactly. But I actually just had a new monitor delivered to my house. I can't wait to set it up. Actually, I just got a 27-inch gigabyte monitor.
Ooh,
I'm pretty pumped to play. It's curved and everything. Can't wait.
ooh, gonna dominate. So okay, then so that's your number one. Then if you had to choose between Apex and Warzone, which one you picking then? Which one's number two?
Probably Apex.
Apex.
I get sick of Call of Duty, man. I don't know. Ever since like Call of Duty 2, I get Call of Duty just because everybody gets it. I play it with friends and stuff, and then like I'm sick of it after like 2 weeks.
That's fair. I would say my big game growing up was Call of Duty 4. That was my favorite Call of Duty of all time. But
Oh, Modern Warfare was great.
no, that was
Best,
awesome.
one of the best.
Yeah, that was a great.
Yeah.
That was a great. Anyway,
But I don't know. I get sick of it. I need like I'm super big into like RPGs, and like I love playing like Elder Scrolls and
yeah,
that kind of stuff too. So like
Assassin's Creed was my shit growing up too.
Dude.
Yeah.
The Valhalla's been one of my favorites to play recently.
Really, I haven't played that one.
Yeah,
Yet. It's good. Okay.
so
okay.
good, so
Okay.
good, and they're coming out with a pretty sick expansion on it too. Think it actually should be coming out towards the end of this month, I believe. But I'm into those games too because I just like you can sit down and just play and do missions and stuff, and I like the story mode for them also.
And there's so many side quests.
When it comes to
There's
like
so
shooting
much.
games, like those are easy to just pick up. You play a few rounds and then you go. Same thing with like sports games. Like I love playing sports games. I've been playing MLB The Show. I was really pumped when that came out on Xbox.
Oh, that was a
It's
game
always been on
changer.
PlayStation.
That was a game changer.
I've been dying because the last baseball game I played was like 2K.
The last
or
one,
like MVP.
yeah,
MVP was the best. They got to bring that back.
No, the best one. I don't know if you ever played it. Was Slugfest. Slugfest
Oh,
is my favorite
Slugfest was
baseball
great.
game.
Yeah, I would play that. I would play that whole
Oh my
franchise with like
God.
NFL Blitz and NHL Hits. Such great games.
Those games were so much fun. They need to bring them back. They need to bring them back. Those were the best.
Those are classics.
Those are
the best.
They're the best. No, so which out of all the sports games then, which one would you say you're the best at?
The best at?
Yeah, was it like Madden, FIFA?
Probably Madden.
Madden. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually did not get this past Madden.
I don't have what I always do is I have the Game Pass, so I just play whichever Madden is on the Game Pass. And I just,
yeah.
And then you can
I have Game Pass too.
you can just download the current rosters. You just go to like community. You can download the current roster. It's all the same game at this point. So it's just
I've been kind of disappointed with Madden recently. So they haven't really been doing like too much change. Like it's like the same thing. Why am I going to waste my money on like the new game?
Exactly. I can't wait for the college football one though. They're bringing back college football.
Hell yeah.
So that's what I'm excited
pumped about that.
Bring back Dynasty mode. Oh my God.
I love playing with the mascots.
Oh, that's also fun. Just have fucking Brutus the Buckeye not like just light up the tree from Stanford. Just like shit that. All right.
Great games.
Oh, great games. Those are, again, all these old school games. A lot of people never got the privilege to play. So my intern unfortunately isn't here. This is the end of the show. This is kind of like a little game. So he has 5 questions, or like each a level, and he just kind of get different questions. So if you like the question, we move on to the next one. If you don't like the question, we call it quits. We wrap this thing up. All right? All right. So the first one is, do you call it pork roll or Taylor ham?
Taylor Ham.
Taylor Ham. Okay. Okay. He says the correct answer is pork roll, but I don't know. I
That's
don't
a
know about that.
long conversation.
I know. I'm
That's
from
never. That's
Indianapolis. I'm from Indianapolis, so I don't have a dog in the fight, but I've heard it from both sides.
I grew up in North Jersey. Taylor Ham. My
Always-
wife always is arguing with me pork roll, so it's constant battle.
Okay. All right. So I'm assuming you like that one. So next one then, another New Jersey question. What's your favorite beach in New Jersey?
I've grown up going to like Seager and Avon by the sea, Belmar, Manasquan. So I'm all up there. So you know, I have so much family down there that like it changes.
Okay. 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 Number 3, what's your favorite music to warm up to before a fight?
Metal,
Metal? Ooh, who's your go-to?
like heavy stuff.
No, no,
Like
no.
I
Like
like.
your bands. Like what are your go-to bands?
I've been recently super into Parkway Drive.
Okay.
After the Burial. Let's see. Born of Osiris.
So you're
Love.
saying a lot. Like I was very Parkway Drive. I used to be like really deep into that stuff. So like you're saying a couple people I've heard of like right before I got out of it. I was thinking.
Yeah, I've been super into some of those. So
Okay.
those 3 bands of what I've been really listening to. The Browning I've been getting into
Okay.
also because they got like almost like a techno vibe to their metal.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Okay. 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 You've already been asked this. Is the dream opponent still Max Holloway?
I mean, yeah, that'd be
Okay.
an awesome fight.
Oh, so I knew you already been asked that, so I'm not going to count that one just because I know you've already answered that before. What's your favorite show you've binged recently?
Favorite show I binged recently. Uh, Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett. I haven't even watched that yet. Is it good? Is it up? Is it up to
Oh, it's
standards
good.
of Mandalorian?
Oh yeah. So it's good because the guy John Favreau who did all the Marvel movies and all the Marvel shows, he took over. He was the one who did the Mandalorian, and then he started taking over some of the Star Wars and kind of reviving it because like the last few movies were horrible, absolutely trash, and so the Mandalorian is what really like revived
Yeah,
Star
I'm saying I
Wars,
like
in my opinion.
Mandalorian. Yeah, like I love the
Yeah,
Mandalorian. I just haven't
and
watched
it's
Boba Fett
just
yet.
they got so much cool shit coming out, like
The
Obi
Obi-Wan
Wan.
series. Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh,
god.
can't wait. Can't wait.
Uh,
They got a lot of good stuff coming up, and I'm pumped.
they're bringing back
So,
the
and they're
good parts of the prequels. Like that's what I've
yeah,
noticed.
they're bringing back some Jedi's too. Like they got Ahsoka.
Yeah.
She's coming back. I don't know if you ever watched like the animated series Clone Wars.
I watched
That
the bits and pieces, like whenever it was
Yeah,
on
it's
Cartoon
pretty
Network
good.
or whatever.
It's pretty good, but it like fills in like a lot of like of the Clone Wars, like
Yeah.
that the movies didn't encapsulate. So I thought it was cool. But yeah, Book of Boba Fett was pretty good.
All right, so this is gonna be the last one. This is number 5. Then, since you don't like any of the sequels, if you had to pick one of the 3, which one would you pick?
Oh, are we talking about Star Wars?
Star Wars 7, 8, 9. Which one would you pick?
7.
7. All right. I mean, that's like yeah. that's the only
That
answer.
7 wasn't a bad one. That was the best one out of the 3 that came out.
What?
8 was absolute trash,
Oh
and
my
9
gosh.
was okay.
See what ruined? There was 2 moments in 8 and 9. There were 2. There was a moment in each that made me just feel like this movie sucks. And 8, it was when spoilers, but who gives a shit because the movie sucked. Is when Leia, she was in space, and all of a sudden
Oh
she's
my
just like
god.
flies back to the
They
station.
like all of a sudden now she's like got Jedi powers. Like get the hell out of here. She's never done any shit like that ever. She's always just been useless.
So why couldn't Luke fly? That's what I was thinking. I was like, why couldn't no one else fly? But now she can fly. Like,
And
what the fuck
they
is
made
this?
Luke, and I hate how they made Luke like such a bitch.
Oh, I know.
Like he was just so pathetic. Like I hate everything, and I'm not gonna do anything anymore. He's just it was just terrible. It did everything horribly.
And then the ending of the last one when Rey says, "My name's Rey Skywalker." That made me so fucking mad. That was so stupid.
It was dumb.
That was so dumb. All right, man. So that's that's all I got for you, man. Obviously, yeah. So yeah, we're not fans of the sequels of the Star Wars films. Yeah. So
No way.
yeah, that's what I got for you, man. So obviously, got a fight coming up. I think we're gonna post this like a week before, like a week and a half or whatever before. But anyway, with that said, other than the fight coming up, what else you got for us?
Not much, man. Just chilling. I just bought a house recently, so I just gonna do stuff around the house. I got a puppy also, so I hang out with the
So I
puppy.
heard him playing around back there.
Yeah, she was being a pain in the ass.
Nah, it's
So
puppies. It's puppies.
yeah, but that's pretty much it, man. Just
That's it.
chilling.
All right. Well, now you're a friend of the program. Got to come back on whenever I ask. So
Absolutely, man.
all right.
Anytime.
Deal. All right. So that's it for me, for Mike. See you in a bit. That was a great interview with our boy Mike Trizano, but I want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.Fit. Living.Fit is a health and wellness company that'll help you achieve all your fitness goals, from building muscle, losing fat, or maybe just trying something a little bit new. Not only are there workout programs, but they can also help with your nutrition and build out your home gym. And for all my personal trainers out there looking to get certified in kettlebell and battle rope movements, they're the place to be. Make sure you go visit the website or download the app Living.Fit today. Now back to the show. All right, that was an awesome interview with our boy Mike. Obviously, Harry wasn't there. Unfortunate. We filled in, did a couple questions through through the little virtual reality, if you even want to call it that. But
we'll say he's wrong about pork roll versus Taylor ham. That's all I'm gonna say.
Who gives a shit? It's all the same shit.
Jersey
soda
thing.
pop,
Jersey thing.
soda pop, whatever the other one is, cola. I don't know.
Cola,
it's all the same thing. Anyway, as I said at the top of the show, we were going to get into the Jake Paul diss track. Now, I want to preface by saying this: in terms of his other work, it's probably the best thing he's ever released. But
Definitely,
there's people who are out here saying, like, for someone who's an amateur, it's pretty good. It's not good. Let's stop jumping the gun here. Can he box? Yeah, I'll say he boxed, but can he rap? No, he can't rap. We're gonna go through the entire thing. I got a couple notes on a couple of these bars, and things like that. Harry, any comments before we get into this Dana White diss track?
I think it's just better to just get this over with and go dive into it.
Over with?
Jesus Christ,
Get it over with.
No, not over with, but you know,
this is a work of art. If this is on TikTok, this is a work of art.
My man painted the new Mona Lisa with his mouth on this one.
This bar's all over the place. Call him the new Kendrick
Lamar. Bars all over the place.
Shit, that's a bar. Fuck, I'm so good. Anyway, he starts off, everybody in the UFC, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me. Fuck Dana White. Now, he repeats those lines over and over again. As someone who wanted to be in the music industry, be in the music game, you don't do that unless you think you're going to play that live. Now, I'm not going to analyze these bars because I think this is a precedent. He's going to perform this song in front of a crowd.
Yeah, he's leading up to that for sure.
Now, you heard it here first.
Starting off with
heard it here first. He's going to do this. And it's going to be so funny.
Imagine he performs it live as he's walking out for his first MMA fight. That would be on brand.
It would be, I don't know if he's going to fight for Habib. It kind of seems like where everything's going. He's going to fight for Eagle. I don't think Habib would be cool with that. But he's not going to rap it on a walkout. He's going to rap it like in a crowd. Like he's going to have like a what he's going to do is he's going to have a concert wherever at some UFC card, whether it be, it's not going to be at 272 or 271, but it might be one.
It might be at 272.
He's going to do it at the Conor card. You're hearing it here now. Jake Paul will perform this diss track the weekend of the Conor card. I don't know when that Conor card is, but that's when he's going to perform this song. Because the song, we'll get to it later, he also shit talks McGregor. So, big brain thinking.
Shit talks a lot of people in this
Big brain thinking. He might also do it for the Masvidal card. Which gets us to the next bar, if you want to call it that. First of all, Masvidal, you ain't rich. 50 fights for $5 million, that ain't shit. You know what? I'm going to say that was a bar. That's a bar.
That's not bad.
That's a bar.
That's not bad.
Underpaid fights with the healthcare rights. Got them risking all their lives and they can't quit. Big bags, that's the shit I come with.
That's a flip right there. Going from trying to promote the healthcare rights of these the fighters to I got bags. What about it?
That's Yeah, it's not showing as he wants to be. It's all about him. But I mean, if you have a brain, you know this is all about Jake Paul promoting Jake Paul. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, anyway,
Well, I mean, what else does Jake Paul do? He promotes himself and he goes out and
he
fights.
makes a shit.
That's the two things
He
he
makes a
does,
shitload of
and a shit ton of
shit
money.
ton of money.
Yeah,
He scams people too, but not as bad as Nelk, which we'll get into Nelk more later. I
yeah.
like having money conversations. All that little Stockton shit is cool, but that lisp got me thinking Diaz speaking a different language. That's a terrible bar. Terrible bar. Not even
No
funny.
flow to it.
There was no flow.
No flow
There
to
was
it.
no flow. That was if you're gonna take a shot at Diaz, there's a lot of other things you can say. That was a pretty bad bar. You can for all the other
Yeah,
shit he talked about, like he gets McGregor good later. He got Masvidal. Like I thought that was a good bar. Well, I mean, like
yeah,
Masvidal makes a good amount of money outside of what he gets in his purse, but that's a terrible bar for against Diaz. Anyway. All the greatness speaking for itself, boy. All you fight. These next four bars are what I want to talk about. All the greatness speaking for itself, boy. All you fighters, just a bunch of shelf toys. Bars. Don't want to let you off the
bars.
leash. Let him come and make some breach. Harry, I'm slightly older than you. You're in college. Have you ever heard the term breach?
Not once in my
I
life.
think he
Not
made
even
up a
at the
word.
bar while I'm
I
working.
think he
I think he made
I
up a
think he made
word.
up a word. So right off the bat, that
Yeah,
means that negates the all you fighters just a bunch of self toys. That negates that bar. Um, Now on top of that too, it says Dana, won't you let him off the leash? If you're a toy, you don't have a leash on you. So
yeah,
right again, analyzing the bar like I'm Anthony Fantano, the music's busiest music nerd, internet's busiest music nerd. Right away, terrible bar. But yeah, that didn't make sense. But um, I just wanted to point out the fact that he made up an entire word just to make it all rhyme. And usually in rappers, it
yeah.
makes sense, but breach, I don't even know what that's short for.
What the hell is
I don't
that?
know. I don't know. I was trying to figure out what it's short for. I don't know. But this leads to the next line, which
You know how you fix?
is the best part.
Oops, you know how you fix that?
What's that?
Oops, yeah. You fix that by saying, Dana, won't you let them out the box? Because if they're a bunch of shelf toys, shouldn't they
No,
be coming
bar
in
101,
boxes?
bar 101. There you
And
go.
and then there are so many more words that rhyme with box than leash.
Yes,
You know?
yes, yes,
Come on now.
yes. That is very true. That's right away. Right away, you can fix that bar. Whoever ghost wrote, I hope he has a ghostwriter for this, and this just wasn't him. But I also want to
But
appreciate the
it would
fact.
be funnier.
I want to, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying I want to appreciate the fact that if you had a ghostwriter write this, they did a great job putting it in Jake Paul's voice. Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, the next part is my favorite part of the whole song. Is while you try to fuck the Nelk boys. That finished off that one bar. I kind of forgot that part, but that's my favorite part of this song because that leads me to. We joked about this on Friday or whatever the day the Nelk guys
Yeah.
were like, we're looking to do an MMA podcast. So
Yeah.
what they're gonna do with that, and it's kind of obvious what they're gonna do with it. It's gonna become a propaganda tool for the UFC to shit talk other organizations and kind of just like promote whatever the UFC wants to promote. Because Dana does dick ride them, but he also kind of he lets them do whatever they want for the UFC. So like big brain thinking. I'm just unleashing so many big brain takes today, but anyway.
Oh
It's going to
yeah.
become like a propaganda machine. It's going to be the propaganda podcast for them, and it's going to be.
How the McAfee show is sometimes for Rogers, that's exactly how it's going to be
Yes,
for
yes.
UFC, except a lot less entertaining.
Yeah, another thing too with the McAfee thing too. McAfee also he does a good job of not what's the word? Not being too much of a stooge during those sometimes because you can
Yeah.
tell he wants to make fun of Rogers at certain points, but he just can't because he can't ruin that relationship. So
Mhm.
I will be interested to see what happens if they have on a guy who's talking about fighter pay and see what they say. Anyway, back to the bars.
That would be fascinating.
Back to the bars. Walked in on
Yes.
demon time. Dana, it's a lot I know you keep inside. You be on my dick while you don't get a wife and kids. Go put your focus on them hookers that you try and hide. Um, Now,
No flow.
the flow wasn't very good in that entire bar, but I will also say I love him trying to pull out the hooker gate against him.
That is funny.
I like the hooker gate. He needs to lay off. He loves talking about the coke addiction, which I mean I don't know. I haven't seen anything about it. Probably does like coke, but the hookers thing I've heard before. So I like you brought that one out. That was a good bar. But there's
Yeah,
no flow to it.
it's always better. It's always better to bring up confirmed rumors
Well, they're not
rather than just
confirmed. It's
like,
just like one of those.
well, you know what I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
something that people have heard compared to like, oh, he might be doing coke. Who knows?
Now And a Maybach seats reclining knockout of the year, and I'ma keep inclining. Jake, go fight a boxer. Shit, I tried and he pussied out. They know I'm coming, so they keep on hiding. Dana looking infrastructure. That bald bitch should have stayed a kickbox instructor. Um, I like that bar. I
Yeah,
like that
that's
bar.
that's
Now
fine.
the next bar is also probably the weakest bar of the entire song. Since Habib retired, you just cannot retire. That's not just a weak ass bar. That's just a casual take.
Yeah,
Because Habib,
also retire with retired.
hey, gotta respect. Like it's like Lance Stevenson being spelled Lance a different number of ways, but it's like Habib was like, yeah, he made money, but he wasn't Connor, Masvidal, Diaz, or any of those guys. You didn't get those
Yeah,
kinds of pay per views. Like Dana's doing fine without Habib. That's a casual take, casual bar, very weak bar. Um,
again, the UFC is not made up of three
yeah, it
fighters.
is.
You can lose a big name and still be fine.
No, 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 no. They do have kind of a star problem. They had it with Francis, but they're fucking up
Hmm.
Francis.
Big time.
You bankrupt Fertitas, went and pulled you out the dumpster. All gas like propane. Dana, you lay off all that cocaine. And that,
I think the second that he said propane, we all knew he was going to say cocaine
it's
next.
very predictable.
It's
A
pretty,
predictable bar.
yeah,
Predictable bar.
predictable bar.
First, he said all my fights are fixed, and now he said it's still as shit. I'm really on an island eating lo mein. Oh, that rhymed with cocaine. Sorry, but still, that was not very good. McGregor. Oh, here's where we get to Connor. This is why I think he's going to say it on
Yes,
the Connor thing. McGregor, I ain't see you win in 5 years. You rich little weirdo, ugly ass veneers. Took so many
it's
losses.
not bad.
Wound up at VMAs trying to fight with MGK. No surprise here.
That's not bad at
It's
all.
not- Lamborghini boat, but your career is sinking. Really got me wondering what D is thinking. I think he hired. I think that's where he hired a ghostwriter. I think that's the
Absolutely.
ghostwriter. He did not write that
Yeah.
about McGregor. 100% had
No.
someone come up with that for him because that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah. That right there. That's a good
That's
diss. That's my favorite part of this diss track. That's pretty damn good. But
that was the best
you go
original
from
bar.
making up breach. Yes, you go from making up breach to this. It's like two completely different songs in
It does
one.
appear. It does seem like he had a bunch of different. It's like 4 different ghostwriters. But yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best flowish bar that I appreciated the most. The Nelk Boys comment just made me giggle a little bit.
yeah.
Make saying giggle appropriate 2022. I love that word. It's so funny. Where are we at? I ain't even dissed it. Now I'm really speaking. Wounded up in jail too many times for all that liquor drinking. Fuck Dana. Fuck Dana White. They don't got the problem child rapping. Now you about to witness Dana tapping out. Thought this shit was funny when it was started out. Now it's quarterbacking money. I'm a Holmes the way I'm cashing out. Uh, who cares? Anyway,
Should he change that to Burrow after this weekend? Uh, Now it's quarterback and money. I'm Burrow the way I'm cashing out.
he hasn't got paid yet. Want to make sense with the bar.
Well,
Mahomes
fair,
got the $500
fair.
million contract.
That is very true.
Anyway, last comment on the Jake Paul diss track. The music video sucked. It was super cringy. I wasn't a fan of it.
It was so bad.
I wasn't a big.
It
I
was so
understand the
bad.
point of it. I think he was trying. I think he was trying to be cringe with it, but the having Chris
Yeah.
the funniest thing too was like, do you know who the woman was? The girl who was signing the contract at the very beginning of it? That's
No, who
Chris
was
Cyborg,
that?
and she fucking hates Dana White. So the fact that she was on there
Oh
was
shit!
so funny. I think what really would have topped it off is that they had Tyron Woodley on the diss track too, because him and Dana also don't like each other. That was
Yeah,
something I was expecting the entire time and didn't see
but it
it.
just
It
never
never
happened.
delivered. Maybe that'll come in the diss track part 2, or maybe if we're lucky, when
Maybe.
Dana White releases his diss track, he'll bring on T Wood.
I can't wait to see
Well,
that.
I'm interested to see what Dana
But
does in response. That's we're on watch.
or maybe Woodley comes on with Jake to do a live performance
Hmm. Gives
whenever he does that for
impromptu
the first
some
time.
impromptu bars. So
Exactly.
that's what we got for the Jake Paul diss track. Um, man, what a weekend of winners, losers all over the place. So let's we're gonna experiment with
Yeah.
something new. We're gonna pick a couple winners from the weekend, a couple losers from the weekend. We've already kind of talked about a lot of this stuff, and we're gonna get into more of a lot of this stuff later. I'm gonna start with my winners. I'll give you one winner and one loser. So my first winner is the people. No more Jackson Mahomes.
Yes.
Like that's great. Everyone loves it.
Yes.
That's fantastic. We don't have to deal with his TikToks. That leads into my loser. We don't get to watch Patrick Mahomes play football. That is devastating. He
Yeah.
is the most electrifying man in the sport of football, and not to be able to watch him scramble around, do his little like tight ass like walk where he's like this. You know what I'm talking about when he walks? Yeah,
Yeah,
not being able to see him do that when he walks on the field before throwing 60-yard bombs. It's sad. It's a little sad. So there's my winners to people, but they're also a loser because we lose the ability to watch him. Oh, and also Tyreek Hill giving the peace do signs to people, being the
yep.
big asshole that he is, little asshole that he is. Anyway, Harry, give me your winner and loser.
So my winner, first of all, Joe Shiesty.
Hmm.
That dude is winning every single place he goes. If they win the Super Bowl this year, I am lighting up a cigar and smoking his name.
He's a terrible
I'm
influence
gonna
on the
buy my
kids. I'm giving
terrible
cool,
influence on the
real
kids,
quick loser. I didn't originally plan on loser. The kids, the children.
but
Joe Burrow's made
think
smoking
about them every
cigars
single
cool
time you
again.
spark one up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Terrible influence on the children. Anyway, go back. That's an additional
Yes.
loser.
Additional loser. My big loser, and this is a one that goes deep to my heart. Andy Reid,
Oh,
man, just choked another championship round playoff game. It just never seems to end for him, and I love the dude. I love him with a passion, but man does not know how to get it done for the most part. He got it done once out of like a what? He's been in the league for damn near 22 years now, 23 years.
he was
It's
within. He
just
had first and goal at the 5 twice, and didn't get to get in the end zone either
yeah,
time. And he didn't. It's only 3 points.
one at the end of the game.
Only 3 points out of those two possessions. So that's yeah, it wasn't very good. So my winner, it might surprise you. It's Dana White. Dana
Ooh,
White's a winner this week because Jake Paul made the diss track, and you think to yourself, he's making a diss track about all the fighter pay, healthcare, all that shit. Really, all it did was make everyone's eyes turn to the UFC, and now I think more people are paying attention to the UFC because of Jake Paul's efforts. So really, all he's doing is making Dana White's bank account bigger. So Dana White's a winner this week.
mhm.
My loser is Goran Dragic. Do you know why I'm saying Goran Dragic?
No,
So he is currently a Toronto Raptor, but he's living in Miami. And the sad little piece of shit he is, he's going to every single Miami Heat game, waiting for the day he can go back to being in Heat culture. Like it's
wow,
like that's such a diva move. Like you won't play for Toronto. He literally he just refuses to play for anyone not named Miami, and they traded his ass away. What?
that's so
That's
funny.
such a diva bitch move.
It's such a diva bitch move, but it's so fucking funny. Oh my
Imagine
god.
like God, I don't even know who you can like. It's like I think that might be on par with Ben Simmons. Imagine if Ben Simmons is that like
Yes,
Ben Simmons is like
except like
a lot worse because he's act.
a lot worse.
It's a
Yeah,
lot worse. Yeah, that's he's my loser this week because that's some like high
because
school
like
shit. That's
yeah,
high school shit.
imagine we do trade Ben, and then within 6 months of him being gone, he's like at the doorstep of the Wells Fargo Center, like, please take me back. Come on now, that's clown shit.
All right,
But
you're a winner, loser. If you have another,
uh, my first winner or my second winner now, I guess. SOT Bar in Kansas City for the same reason that you had people being the
ah,
first winners
do they have another post?
of no, but I mean it's got to feel good seeing Jackson Mahomes humbled like that, especially after they clowned him for being again a diva and thinking that his internet clout would get them to seat a bigger party than they could sit
Okay,
at their small bar.
okay.
But that even though they're in Kansas City, I think that's a big win for them. My second loser, Jimmy Garoppolo, because that's
Oh,
his career in San Francisco over.
oh,
It's unfortunate, but it's true.
whoa, whoa! All this dude does is
Yeah,
win. Have you seen his record?
his record is
He
nice, but
wins.
It's the Trey Lance era is coming. I have a feeling, and him, Debo, it's gonna be nice for them, but you could just see by the look on his face.
He's coming to Indianapolis, baby. Winning a Super Bowl here
I
in Indianapolis, baby.
You see, I could see that happening though.
Oh
Like
no,
maybe not the Super Bowl part, but
no, they're winning the
the
Super
him
Bowl.
coming to
They're winning the
Indianapolis.
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
They're winning the Soupy. All he's got to do is throw a couple check down passes in the they'll win 11 games next year, maybe 12. Yeah, I'm
check it down JT
all
and
in.
take to the bank.
All in. Just check down to Naheem Hines, all those guys. Yeah, all in for Jimmy G.
Yep.
And I will take any slander I say over the next couple of months. I'll take it all back the minute he's on the Colts. How many more winners and
Yes,
losers
sir.
do you have? I didn't give you a number, and I kept thinking of more winners and losers.
Yeah, I got at least one more right now, but more coming to me off the top of
Good,
my head.
perfect. Okay, my next
Um,
winner, Zach Taylor. Want to know why? Not
yes.
because he won, not because he's in the Super Bowl. People will actually know what he looks like. I think he's the guy. He's like the only NFL coach I
Yeah.
could think of, maybe other than Rich Bisaccia, that if I saw them like in person, I wouldn't know who he is.
Mhm.
Also, I don't know if you know, but I remember seeing a picture of him like last year, like earlier in the year. He looked very young. Last night, he looked like 60 years old. He looked very old yesterday. He looked like he's aged a lot over the past couple months. Yeah, so
Really?
he's also my loser.
I did not catch
He's
that.
also a loser this week. But my other loser is Eli Apple. You wanna know why I'm saying Eli Apple? It's
Yeah.
not just he went to the Super Bowl, but this means that Twitter, all the people who are shitting on Jackson Mahomes and Mahomes' wife Brittany, they're gonna put all their attention now on Eli Apple, and he's just gonna get fucking destroyed on Twitter for the next 2 weeks. So blessings to him and his
Yeah.
team. I wish you guys the best because it's gonna be rough. Please just delete your social media so you don't have to deal with it. That's my advice. But Eli Apple, big loser this week, even though he's making it to the Super Bowl. Anyway,
So my winner and loser are also for this one is the same group of people. It is the people of Detroit.
oh, 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 oh,
Yeah, the people of Detroit because they are vindicated for saying Stafford is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. They are absolutely vindicated and proven true for that. But at the same time, they had to see him do it on a different team.
yeah. Mm.
So big win, big loss.
It's poor Detroit. Anyway, this is my last one.
For
This is
Detroit.
my last one. It's
That was my
just a
last
winner.
one.
This is just
Yeah.
a winner. As everyone who hates guys who just lay and pray in MMA. So the winner is the Bellator judges. I know for a fact you didn't watch any of these fights, but for the first time in my life, I watched two fights where these guys would they'd get dominant position, didn't do a whole lot. It was for Benson Henderson and then Ryan Bader, the co-main
Okay.
and main event. Anyway, the Russian guys they would get dominant position and they didn't do a whole lot. They kind of would just like control and then not throw punches. They wouldn't go for the finish, things like that. While Bader and Henderson were very, very aggressive. They were very aggressive from either top bottom position or being clinched against the fence. Like Bader threw like 12 elbows to the dude's head, like as the guy was just clinching up against the fence. So it's one of those things where like if you watch like in UFC, usually if you watch a fight like that, you're like, well, fuck, he might have been more aggressive, he might have been, more busy, but he's not going to win because he didn't have dominant time. You finally saw that happen, and the guys got rewarded who were actually busy, which I love to see because
Mhm.
that's how it's supposed to be scored. So fuck all the guys who lay and pray. Fuck all the guys who just get dominant position and just kind of don't do anything. Like you can't do that. You got to be aggressive. Got to be busy. So that also another winner is the fans because we get rewarded. The guys who deserve to win get win. Anyway,
Yes.
that's our winners, losers of the week. And speaking of Bellator and Eagle UFC earlier, had some fights this weekend. Wasn't UFC, but it's so nice to see some people fighting each other in just shorts and a cage.
Yeah.
Eagle FC had a bunch of big names. The production value was really good, but the people speaking were not very good at speaking. Usman, I know a lot of people don't like hearing Usman speak. I thought he was actually not that bad. It was more or less everyone else in that broadcast, not named Chael Sonnen, was not good at talking on the microphone. Chael Sonnen was a saving grace. I will turn into Eagles FC just to listen to Chael Sonnen talk. He is the funny. I don't know if do you know who Chael Sonnen is, Harry?
No idea.
Just look up his trash talking highlights. It's you will fall in love with this guy. Uncle Chael.
So
Uncle Chael, undefeated, undisputed.
CHAEL.
CHAEL. That is your homework. And I want you to, on Friday/Thursday when we record, I want you to tell me your favorite one.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them that are very, very. He was Conor McGregor before Conor McGregor. Let's put it that way.
I'm looking that up right now.
There you go. So, yeah. Anyway, funniest guy in the world.
Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen trash talking. His shit with Tito Ortiz was top notch. Anyway, yes, Bellator also was a lot
Love
of
that
fun
stuff.
watching.
Yeah.
Love Ryan Bader. Love seeing him get that W, as I said earlier, my winners and losers. Kind of went through all that. So anyway, yeah, it was nice seeing those fights. Bellator's got some fun fights coming up. If you just like UFC, go watch Bellator. There's streams. You can find the streams. They're not really that hard. You can find them if you don't want to pay for it, allegedly. So yeah, go do that. fun fights. Eagle FC is free, so whenever you have an opportunity, just go watch some extra fights. There's some big names. Nostalgia also huge, as I said earlier. Benson Henderson getting the win. Sugar Rashad Evans got a win. Big nostalgia this weekend. Anyway, the biggest story though of the weekend was Boobgate 2022. You know what Boobgate is, Harry?
No.
Israel Adesanya's his gyno's back. His gyno's back. Do you know what gyno is?
Not like
It's when
the doctor.
it's when males have titties.
Oh.
So Israel has a titty on one of his pecs. And as a survivor of gyno, I can attest to you, it doesn't go away. It will come back. It's one of those things where it's all like hormonal based. But everyone's out here saying he's on PEDs, things like that. My dude just had man boobs growing up, and he got over it. And every now and then it comes back.
Recurring segment.
Boobgate, be on the watch. Boobgate 2022 is back. We are pro Izzy. We are pro that it's just he had gyno growing up, probably got bullied for it. And he's on steroids.
Hey, but now he just punches people out when they make fun of him for that. So
yeah, he just beats the shit out of them. Anyway, it's be wary. Boobgate 2022. If I can get that trending, if I can get Boobgate 2K22 trending, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna try. We're gonna try.
Over the moon.
Over the moon. I'm gonna get that trending. Maybe we should get Barnett to. When he posts on Friday, we should have Barnett be like, Boobgate. Beware. I'll
throw that hashtag on
hashtag Boobgate. Yeah. Anyway, that's really all we got for UFC this weekend. UFC, MMA, all that. See, we're not just a one-trick pony, not just UFC. We talk about it all. We get into real details like Boobgate. Anyway, let's move on to the NFL. And we've kind of covered a lot. We almost got the worst Super Bowl imaginable. I said this last week. No matter who won the NFC, if the Bengals made the Super Bowl, they're going to get fucked. I stand by that. I love the 3.5 line. No one cares about your bets, but I love that line because the Rams are going to hit him out. They're going to sack him at least 5 times, maybe 6 times.
At least.
If there's a prop bet, I'm going to take it. Happy for the Bengals, but it's not going to be a very pretty game. I started to see the takes where people are saying, well, by people I say Big Cat, and a couple other people are saying like the Chiefs dynasty is over and all that hoopla. No. If they still got until Tyreek Hill really regresses and Kelsey really regress, they're going to be fine. And Mahomes' contract in 4 years is going to be like a bargain. So
easily,
they're fine.
The people in Kansas City have nothing to worry about. Pat said yesterday that they'd be back. They're gonna be back.
Well, yeah,
they might be in the Super Bowl next year.
They're the new Patriots. They're the new Patriots. Yeah. Just accept it. They're a more fun Patriots just because Mahomes is a lot more likable.
Yes.
But instead of you not liking Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, you just hate Jackson Mahomes and Brady Matthews. It's a little bit different dynamic.
So I have a quick question. Is Brady actually retiring?
No.
I'm so confused.
I had this realization last night. I think the players have turned on Adam Schefter since he leaked the Andrew Luck story too early. Because he's been wrong about a lot since then. I think that rubbed a lot of guys the wrong way. So now they're fucking with him, giving him wrong sources. I think Brady had someone he knew would tell him that he's retiring, and now he's not going to retire. Just to fuck with Schefter. That's my deep conspiracy. So is that the players turned on Schefter after the Andrew Luck leak. So
you know what? I'd gain so much respect for Tom Brady if he did that, because that would just be that'd be a clown move.
But
a good clown.
As someone who has never declared Brady the GOAT, I think he's the most accomplished. I don't think he's the best quarterback ever. And by that I mean like there's things he can't do that other guys can do. Anyway, I'll declare my GOAT if this is true. If this is true and he really is fucking with Schefter, I will officially declare my GOAT. And if there's anything you know about me, that hurts very much to say. And one more thing I got to say about the Bengals and Chiefs before we get in the Rams 49ers is you can't call Joe Burrow Joe Cool because he's thrown interceptions. No. There's only one Joe Cool. His name's Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco never threw interceptions in the playoffs. The elite.
Joe Burrow is Joe Shiesty or Joe Burr, but he's not Joe
I don't like Joe Burr.
Don't like Joe Burr?
I don't like Joe Burr. I like Joe Shiesty.
Joe Shiesty is a bomb nickname, and I would get a Bengals jersey with Shiesty on the back with that number 9. To be honest,
I'm done. I
think that'd be hard.
I'm done with jerseys. Forever. I just don't. I'm gonna be
Forever?
honest. Since getting out of college, I've never worn a jersey. I've maybe worn one
Wow.
once. I'll wear them for Colts games. I'll wear them for like when I go to sporting events. I'll wear them, but like I don't wear any like out of my Kern Griffey Jr. jersey. Don't wear it. Mike Trout. Don't wear it. I'll probably just hang them up and like
Fair enough.
frame them or some shit. I don't know. There's some older person advice. You don't really ever find times to wear jerseys anymore after Darty season's over. Uh, anyway, yeah.
That's depressing.
No, 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 not really, not really.
I'm kidding,
You just
but
grow up a little bit, grow up with your
yeah,
looks. So let's move on to the NFC. Both teams tried to give it away to each other the entire
they
fourth
did.
quarter. McVay had some of the most questionable coaching decisions. It was like everyone in the stadium knew that second challenge wasn't going to work. Everyone knew that wasn't gonna. I forget what was it. Was it the? I cannot remember the play now, and I feel like a doo-doo head for trying to. Oh, he thought they got the first down, the Matt Stafford sneak, and it was just so stupid. It was
Yeah,
so stupid.
no,
He wasn't
no,
close. You
no.
can't really reverse that. That was one of the dumbest things, and they had no timeouts with 10 minutes left. I don't.
That's a waste of that's a horrible clock management shit
Now, if
right
you're a
there.
Bengal fan too, you got to be a little nervous because he's never going to coach that bad ever again.
Never, but maybe he stays at that level a little bit for next week.
Well, I don't think it's going to.
But it also might be because that was his first one against Shanahan and the Niners, and maybe there's just some kind of curse that he has in his head, or like something like going on whenever he plays those two, that he just calls a horrible game. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't. Well, to be fair to you, I don't think it's going to matter how he coaches. I think they're just
because the Rams defense is going to be all over Burrow. He's going to be terrified by the opening kickoff.
Von Miller could win the Super Bowl MVP.
He really could.
One of those defensive players might win it because of how many sacks they're going to get. That's how bad.
Aaron Donald.
The Bengals Chiefs game too, in terms of matchups. If you're a Bengals fan, I'm so dumb. I don't know why I thought about this earlier, but that was like the perfect matchup. The Chiefs don't have a very good pass rush. It's not that great. And like if the Bengals were going to have to play either of the Bills or the Chiefs, they probably would have. It sounds crazy in retrospect, and you're like, oh, of course you can say that now. The Chiefs probably were the better team you'd want to play because they didn't have as good of a pass rush. But again, as I've said this like 3-4 different times, they were going to play one of a very, very good pass rush that's as good as the Titans. So anyway, it's Super Bowl's a little bit away. It's going to be a fun game.
2 weeks.
Pro Bowl's this week. Can't wait to watch. None of that. So
yeah, exactly negative minutes of that game.
So I'll probably end up betting the under or some shit. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how desperate I get with that.
Take the AFC to win like they have the umpteenth year in a row.
Mac Jones is in the Pro Bowl. I don't know if I can do that.
Oh, I forgot that he got named to it earlier today. That's
an alternate.
That's a choice.
That's a choice. I wonder if Carson Wentz was next, based on that logic.
No, it was definitely Trevor Lawrence after that.
No. He was bad for the entire season. He was bad except for that last game. I bet you the next who after Mac Jones is probably like Davis Mills. Mills Mafia, baby.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
Tannehill, I don't think is a Pro Bowler. So
no.
So it probably was
probably Tannehill, or is Derek Carr a Pro Bowler?
Yeah, he was taken out though. Okay. So it probably would have been him. Mike White from the first half of the season maybe gets a Pro Bowl bid.
Maybe.
Yeah, they just say just for that one like 4-game stretch he had.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we got for the show. Friday, Chris Barnett, super fun, dudes, electrifying, electrifying on the microphone. And then next week we got everything you need for 271. Got Alex Perez. Got maybe someone else on that card. Can't tell you because I'm still talking to the manager. And then we might have Michael Chiesa coming on. He's coming on eventually, but he should be coming on. And then we'll also have Ken Flo on either before or after the card. So a lot of fun coming your way. We might get Pat Ricard on for the Super Bowl.
Sure.
We'll see. Anyway, that's the show. We'll see y'all on Friday. So have a week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.fit today.